हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू लिटरेचर जर्नी टू जेआरएफ। गाइस, जैसा कि आप सभी को पता है कि ये एक पीवाईक्यू सीरीज़ चल रही है। इस पीवाईक्यू सीरीज़ में स्पेशली आपके लिए हम 2022 के क्वेश्चन आंसर लेकर आ रहे हैं विद कंप्लीट एक्सप्लेनेशन। बिकॉज एग्ज़ाम्स आर अप्रोचिंग नियर, सो वी डोंट हैव सो मच टाइम। तो इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक्स कवर करने के लिए हम 2022 के पीवाईक्यूज करने जा रहे हैं विद कंप्लीट एक्सप्लेनेशन, डिटेल्ड एनालिसिस विद नोट्स। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं। क्वेश्चन: इन एन अपोलॉजी फॉर पोइट्री, Sidney discusses the didactic function of poetry by comparing it to philosophy and dash. A. Religion. B. Aesthetic. C. History. And D. Ethics. So guys, do you know the answer? The answer is history. An apology for poetry. Sidney discusses the didactic function of poetry by comparing it to philosophy and history. So, let us know something about Sir Philip Sidney. 1554 to 86. He was an English poet, courtier, scholar, and soldier. Born in Kent into an aristocratic family, King Philip II was his godfather, one of the prominent figure of Elizabethan age. He left Oxford without taking a degree, and he was imbibed values of chivalric humanism. In 1572, traveled abroad, Germany, France, Italy, and other European regions to learn language. As Grivelet says, wherever soever he went, he was beloved and obeyed. Many books dedicated to him. For example, Spencer's Shepherd Calendar. Fluctuating relation with the Queen, and he was an ardent Protestant. He wrote to Queen in 1579 advising against marriage with the Duke of Anjou and had to leave the court on this account. Lived with his sister Mary Herbert, Countess of Pembroke, and wrote Arcadia this time. In 1585, he returned to Elizabethan court, and in 1586, he fought the Battle of Zutphen, which was not so important, and got wounded in thigh and died within a month before his 32nd birthday. Spencer mourned his death in Pastoral Elegy, Astrophel, and Stella. None of his work was published in his lifetime. Experimented with classical meters in English, wrote in self-deprecating manner that was common at that time. Folio of his work came in 1598. Now, as asked in the question Apology for Poetry, let us discuss Apology for Poetry. Subtitle or another name is Defense of Poesy, 1595. Written 1579, published same year 1579 AD as the Defense of Poesy. Great critical essay in English, inaugurated formal literary theory in England. In Apology for Poetry, according to Sidney, he gave definition of poetry. Poetry is an art of imitation. Poetry is a speaking picture, and its end is to teach and delight. Antiquity of poetry. Poetry preceded other branches of learning. Early historians or philosophers appeared as poet, and Plato's work is highly poetic. Now, universality of poetry. Poetry softened the heart of Turks and Tartars, sharpened the Red Indians' wit. Continuity of poetry. Poetry is long lasting, begins first and lasts longest. Wide respectability of poetry. Poet is a prophet. Greco-Romans honored poets as creators. Other major work of Sidney, Astrophel and Stella, 1579. Now have a look on the Astrophel and Stella. Some important facts about Astrophel and Stella. It has 108 sonnets and 11 songs addressed to Penelope Devereux. 1591 first edition came, and in 1598 authorized edition reached the press. Theme of Astrophel and Stella. The power of love has to affect the life of an individual. Astrophel's attempt to wrestle with his own anger and depression caused by unrequited love offers a critical account of conventional attitude to love and love poetry in late 16th century. Now let us talk about Arcadia. It is also very important. 1580. Subtitled The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. It is imitation of Lely's Euphues, written for Mary Herbert, Countess of Pembroke. And who was she? She was Sidney's sister. Title and setting taken from 16th century Italian poet Sannazzaro's Arcadia. The work is a romance that combines pastoral elements with mood derived from the Hellenistic model. William Shakespeare borrowed from it for the Gloucester subplot of King Lear, and Samuel Richardson adopted the name Pamela for his work Pamela. Story has double plot and comic underplot. Theme: various working of love on human character. Love overthrown reason and undermine heroic action. Love can also bring shame. Characters in Arcadia. So these are the important characters in Arcadia. Duke of Basilius and his wife Gynecia, and their two daughters, Philoclea and Pamela, and lovers of these two sisters, Pyroclus and Musidorus. Philoclea's lover is Pyroclus and Pamela's lover is Musidorus. There are some minor works of Sidney which were not so famous. Let us have a look. Lady of May. It is a very less known work. One act pastoral play. A masque written and performed for Queen Elizabeth. And finally, the Sidney Psalm. These English translations of psalms were completed in 1599 by his sister Mary. Guys, so it was all about Sidney and his important work. There are lot of important information given in this question. Guys, अगर आप ध्यान से देखो तो आपको बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऐसी मिलेंगी जो आपके एग्ज़ाम पर्पस से एक बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर होती हैं. So guys, if you like my efforts and my video, if you find it helpful, then please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.